And then there were 4. Hello, folks. Josh Walfish, joined as always by Foster Lander. Foster, 4 teams battling for the right to go to the regional final. We'll start with the hometown Griffons, getting a little bit of a surprise, hosting Eden Moorhead on Friday night. What's one key to the game that's going to lead to a potential Rocky Mount victory?
Well, the big thing for them is not having to go to Havelock, which was the number 2 seed. Everybody had thought that they were just going to breeze through these first couple rounds until maybe a meeting with Rocky Mount, and they got pretty lucky. But Moorhead's got a quarterback over 3,400, I think, total yards, 43 total touchdowns. He can run, he can throw, and he's going to be tough to stop.
Definitely. So that being said, who is going to be the key player if Rocky Mount's going to succeed and advance to that regional final?
To me, it's Forrest Bell. He got going a little bit last week, 159 passing yards and a touchdown. They used the screen game a little bit. They hit a deep ball and could have hit a couple more. So if they can do that and back Moorhead off a little bit, they'll have a chance.
The only team going on the road this week is North Edgecombe. The Warriors travel to Chakawayani to take on the Southside Seahawks. For me, the key of this game is going to be, can North Edgecombe's defense rise to the occasion like they have the past 2 weeks? These two teams met last year in the playoffs, and it was a brutal slugfest, 56-40 in favor of the Seahawks. So it's really going to behoove the Warriors if they can get that defense going. That being said, their key player is, and always will be, Antoine Pittman. If Antoine Pittman can have the type of game he had last year, where he had more than 300 yards, he had 6 touchdowns, it's going to be tough to stop North Edgecombe, and it's going to be difficult for North Edgecombe to lose. But that, like I said before, is going to be completely dependent upon whether the defense shows up to the party. One team that is hosting, and we knew they would probably host, and let's be frank here, this is the class of the Twin Counties when it comes to playoff football, and that is Tarboro. Vikings get a chance to avenge last year's loss to Warsaw James Keane, this time at Viking Stadium. What's going to be the key for the Vikings?
Yeah, the 8th year in a row Tarboro is playing past Thanksgiving, and Jeff Craddock felt that game last year that they lost in the playoffs was maybe the most complete game they played all year. I think this Tarboro team's a little bit better. The sophomores aren't really sophomores anymore, and if their running game is as good as it has been, they should be fine.
That being said, that one player who could potentially take Tarboro over the top?
It's hard to pick just one, and the way they operate. I mean, Jacob Hunter, Fuki Williams, it's been somebody different every week, so it could be a lot of those names.
Definitely, and the only team to defeat Tarboro this year is Southwest Edgecombe. They are our 4th and final team playing this weekend. They host Fairmont, a team that has a very good record at 11-2, but they really haven't played many players. They haven't played many good opponents. And now the Golden Tornadoes have to travel to Pine Tops. So my key of the game is, can Southwest Edgecombe transform from that team that was undersized and gritty and able to stop the power running team to, all right, let's see how they can actually defend a spread offense. They really haven't had to do it much this season. They did a little bit against Benningfield. So be curious to see how that defense adjusts to a more spread style. And that being said, the player to watch is Dylan Hodges. Dylan Hodges is clearly that leader of that defense. He had 15 tackles last week against East Bladen, and kind of how he plays is how the rest of the defense plays. Dylan Hodges' one bad game was against Washington, and lo and behold, that was the game the Cougars lost. But to see how these teams do, check back in Saturday morning where Foster and I will recap everything here on the Telegram Football Insiders.